What is up, jabronis? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for you. This time it's going to be for the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day between Alabama and Notre Dame. Current spread is Bama minus 19.5, total 65.5. So I won last week's college football video with Hawaii over their team total of 23.5, but I did drop the first half under 25.5 from Saints Vikings. It was nice to pick up another best bet win from Sunday with over 50 in the Cowboys-Eagles game. We also had a few 4-0 NFL against the spread winners from the comment section on last week's vids. You guys will be getting a Run Pure Bets shirt. That's Frankie Figs and GOZ2222. Congrats on the great weeks, guys. And look, as always, we'll run it back. Post your 4 NFL plays against the spread below in the comments. Go 4-0, earn yourself a free shirt. I know this is a college football video, but post your NFL plays here. Again, go 4-0, get yourself a shirt. Don't be shy. Again, remember, safe place here. It's also the last week of the regular season in the NFL, so look, no need to hold back. All right, so let's cut right to the chase here. It is New Year's after all. Favorite play in this game is going to be Alabama's team total under 42.5. Got that minus 110 in PointsBet in New Jersey, or at PointsBet in New Jersey. I know. One of these like grab your balls type plays, right? I can't imagine, you're going to feel great about making this bet, but you also may be able to sit on this as, Bama with the spread and the over will probably both be popular plays as we get closer to game time, so this line could move. Wouldn't be crazy if this team total pushed to like 44.5-ish. Regardless, I'm going to lock in the 42.5. Now, this Bama team, once again, a crazy talented bunch. They've actually had the toughest strength of schedule in all of college football, and yet they still lead college football in scoring margin, plus 30.3 points per game, scoring differential. The only time they were even fully tested was against Florida, and I mean, that game wasn't near as close as the final score indicated. Needless to say, they do draw Notre Dame in this spot. Now, some controversy, right, over whether Notre Dame should or shouldn't be in this game after that Clemson mollywhopping. But for me personally, there was really no other choice. Texas A&M slappies, or hardos, if you will, must have forgotten the 4-touchdown loss they had to Alabama earlier in the year. And for those that wanted Cincinnati in this game, I mean, come on. Mid-major in a game like this, it hasn't really played anybody all year. I mean, I personally have Cincinnati 8 points worse than Georgia, who lost by 3 touchdowns to Alabama. Is this a game you guys really wanted to see? I mean, all the Bearcats had to do was schedule harder, and they would have gotten more respect. No, that's a factor they can control, right? It's worth noting the American Conference has been getting thumped in bowl games thus far. Not exactly the best look for Cincinnati either, as of course they played all these teams. And by the way, I would have had Bama nearly 5 touchdowns better than Cincinnati if those two were to meet. Anyway, Notre Dame, it is. The big narrative on Notre Dame, their inability to play well when it actually matters in big games. Now, sure, they beat Clemson in overtime with their backup, but when it really mattered with Lawrence's return, they once again no-showed a big game. Can this finally be the turning point, this game versus Alabama? Maybe, but most likely not. The trend has been, there's a trend with Bama, right, that's been a cash cow for folks. And I know some people get like rock hard over trends. Bama laying the spread in the first half. For the past 2 years, if you laid the wood with Bama in the first half, you literally just watch your account grow 2 hours later. Here, though, it's not as appetizing, right? Spread of 19.5 means you got to lay past the 10 hook, which really isn't fun. As mentioned, the best angle for me, though, in this game is going to be Alabama's team total under 42.5. Now, you guys know my target's always the best bet for what I can find within a game. And it's not always going to be the spread or the total. Sometimes I'll try to find individual bets. Sometimes, interesting derivatives. But derivatives that I know you guys can get. Like, I'm not going to sit here and give you like a college football player prop. The Alabama offense, historically good. I get that. Or I think we all get that, right? But this will arguably be the best defense they've seen all year. Maybe Georgia. Worth noting that Notre Dame has given up more than 3 touchdowns in a game only twice this season. Both times were against the Clemson Tigers. The first game was only 3 touchdowns in regulation, so the fourth actually one came in overtime. Not once this year has Notre Dame given up more than 4 touchdowns. And for Bama to get over this number, they're actually going to need 6 touchdowns, including a field goal, if our math is right. It's not like Notre Dame has had an easy path either. They rank 8th in strength of schedule. Alabama's gone over this number of 42.5. 7 of their 11 games this year, but there's a lot of bad defenses in that mix. Closest defense this year Bama's seen to Notre Dame is going to be Georgia, who did a great job specifically early in the game controlling clock. Bama had one of their worst first half performances of the year offensively versus Georgia and was very content to take the air out of the ball in the second half en route to a total of 41 points. I'd expect something similar from Notre Dame's game plan. By the way, Clemson also took the air out of the ball versus Notre Dame in the second half after a quick start. Speaking of Georgia, let's talk on line extraction for a moment. Georgia and Notre Dame Ranked very similar in both yards per play, offensively, defensively, right along with strength, very close in strength of schedule. I have these two teams very close on a neutral field. But when Bama played Georgia in October, total was 57.5 and the spread was 6. Even if we agree Bama's much better than expected, are they 2 touchdowns better than they were earlier in the year? I guess it's possible, but unlikely, right? That's more or less what this line here with Notre Dame indicates. I get it that Notre Dame isn't perceived that well right now, and this Bama team has been a freight train, but the market is just kind of overreacting to some recent performances here, and of course the Notre Dame big game letdown narrative. Now Notre Dame will continue to get crushed by the media after losing that bad game versus Clemson, and I get it. They're a tough team to get behind. I'm personally not getting behind them fully. Okay, but rather just their defense, which hasn't really let down at all year. As long as their offense with a mobile quarterback in Ian Book can move the chains, I really think they can try to limit the amount of total possessions for Alabama, as it's really their only path to victory. Now, mobile quarterbacks who can move the ball downfield through the air have been shown to give Nick Saban's defenses some fits over the last few years. And look, the 3 best QB performances this year versus Bama overall: Matt Corral, Ole Miss; Kyle Trask, Florida; Kellen Mond, Texas A&M. It's no surprise that all these guys who are well-coached, quarterbacks with good mobility, gave them fits. Now, Ian Book's no different there. Again, I don't love Notre Dame's offense to show out here, but when you target a team total under, you want at least to feel confident that the opposing team's offense can stay on the field, because if time of possession becomes an issue, of course, that'll mean the other team's offense is on more possessions, more plays, which ultimately will result in more points. Overall, my favorite look in this game, again, is Alabama's team total under 42.5. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope a meteor hits your house. As always, drop comments below your thoughts on the vid, and don't forget to post your 4 best NFL plays against the spread for the weekend below. Win yourself a free t-shirt. I want to wish you all a happy New Year's. Be sure to enjoy that extra time with friends and family. Been a wild year for many of us, right? And as always, though, gamble responsibly. I will see you all on Sunday morning, talking Week 17 in the NFL. Later, guys.